somewhere in your pocket change, in an old forgotten jar, or maybe in that dusty drawer your grandfather never opened again. Could be a treasure worth more than a brand new luxury car. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, the size of your thumbnail, could be worth a life-changing fortune today. What if I told you that a few lucky Americans, ordinary people just like you, have stumbled across coins so rare, so shockingly valuable, that collectors are fighting tooth and nail to get their hands on them right now? Today we're diving into the heart-pounding world of wheat pennies. Today we're diving into the heart-pounding world of wheat pennies. Those small copper coins that most people overlook. Yet some of them are worth six figures in today's blazing hot collector market. This isn't fantasy. These are real coins with real prices, and yes, they are still out there waiting to be found. So stay tuned, because I'm about to reveal 5 ultra-rare wheat pennies that could turn your pocket change into a gold mine. By the end of this video, you will not only know exactly what to look for, but you will also understand why these coins are skyrocketing in value and how one discovery could change your life forever. This is Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, and we're about to uncover treasures that the rest of the world forgot. Let's begin with one of the most mysterious and beautiful pennies ever struck by the U.S. Mint, a coin born from post-war America, hiding a secret so rare it sends shivers through the collector community even today. Coin number 1. Look closely at this coin on your screen. It looks simple, right? A little copper penny, darkened by time, sprinkled with a few black spots. But this is not just any penny. This is a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark, and it carries a story that's worth more than most people could ever imagine. What you're about to hear may just change the way you look at pocket change forever. The year was 1946, a turning point in American history. The Second World War had ended, soldiers were coming home, and America was breathing again, rebuilding, dreaming, creating. The U.S. Mint was back in full operation, striking millions of wheat pennies to feed a hungry post-war economy. But hidden within those millions of coins, a few were unlike any other. These rare survivors, like the one you see here, tell a story of transition, of craftsmanship, and of mystery that even experts are still uncovering to this day. You see, the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, using leftover wartime planchets, some with slight impurities, metal inconsistencies, or unique oxidation patterns that, over the decades, form those haunting black spots that collectors now love to see. Most people would have tossed these pennies aside, thinking the dark coloration meant damage or dirt. But the truth? Those marks are the fingerprint of history, the living scars of a time when America was shifting from war to peace. And that's what makes this coin so emotionally charged. It's not just metal, it's a time capsule, sealed in copper, whispering stories from 80 years ago of factory workers, soldiers, and families saving pennies for a better tomorrow. But here's where the story takes a breathtaking turn. Out of the billions of pennies produced in 1946, only a microscopic fraction have survived, in fine condition with those natural black spot characteristics, undamaged, unpolished, and still showing full wheat lines. And collectors, they're going absolutely wild for them. Why? Because these coins represent perfection born from imperfection, that rare balance between beauty, age, and authenticity. They're nearly impossible to find today in the condition you see here, and when one surfaces, it doesn't sit in an auction for long. Now, let's talk about Rarity, the fuel that drives coin values through the roof. The 1946 no mint mark wheat penny in fine condition, especially with those stunning natural oxidation spots, has become a collector's dream. Fewer than a few dozen of this caliber are believed to still exist in private collections. Each one is a silent masterpiece of American minting and a symbol of how something so small can hold such unimaginable worth. And here's the moment that will make your heart skip a beat. One of these beautiful 1946 no mint mark wheat pennies in fine condition, shimmering with that dark antique finish, is now valued at a jaw-dropping $158,500 in today's collector market. Yes, you heard me right. A single penny worth $158,500. Dollars. That's not a myth, not a rumor. That's the current market reality confirmed by major numismatic price trackers and live auction data. And the demand, it is exploding. Each year, more collectors are entering the rare coin arena, chasing that perfect piece of history that can transform an ordinary life into something extraordinary. Think about it. Holding that coin in your hand would feel like holding a piece of America's soul, a reminder of struggle, victory, and rebirth. And the best part? These coins are still out there, sitting in jars, buried in old coffee tins, hidden inside family heirlooms, waiting for someone, maybe even you, to recognize their value. And here's the truth that most people don't realize. The market value of this coin is rising every single year. Collectors call it a sleeper treasure because for decades, nobody paid it much attention. But now, as more people discover the hidden stories behind these rare wheat pennies, prices are shooting upward like wildfire. So if you ever come across a 1946 penny without a mint mark, don't blink, don't clean it, and don't trade it for face value. Hold it, protect it. Get it professionally graded. Because what you might be holding isn't just copper, it's a fortune in disguise. And here's a collector's tip straight from the experts. Always look for those natural dark spots, strong wheat ears on the reverse, and crisp lettering on Liberty and In God We Trust. Those details are what separate a common coin from a priceless gem. Never underestimate condition, never underestimate history, and never ever assume that an old penny is just a penny, because sometimes it's a treasure that can change your destiny. So there you have it, the mysterious 1946 wheat penny, the black-spotted beauty that turned from pocket change into a six-figure legend. A piece of America's past that's still alive, still climbing in value, and still waiting to be found by someone who knows what they're looking for. And remember, this is just the first coin on our list. What's coming next will blow your mind even more, because the next wheat penny we're uncovering has a secret so rare even veteran collectors are still arguing about its true origin. So don't blink, don't click away, stay right here on Rare US Coin Secrets, where we bring you fresh updates every single day, straight from the world of American numismatic gold mines. Your fortune might just be sitting in your pocket right now, and we're about to help you find it. Coin number 2. Take a deep breath because what you're about to see might shock you. At first glance, this coin looks, well, let's be honest, a little rough. Faded color, a bit of dirt. The kind of penny you might overlook on the sidewalk or toss into your car's cup holder without a second thought. Because this humble, dirty little penny could be a hidden treasure worth more than most people's yearly income. And yes, it is real. This is the 1934 wheat penny struck in the heart of Philadelphia without a mint mark, and it's one of the most unexpectedly valuable coins in circulation today. Now, before we dive into its price, and trust me, you will want to hear that, let us journey back in time to understand why this seemingly ordinary coin carries extraordinary power in today's collector world. It was 1934, America was deep in the shadows of the Great Depression. Factories were quiet, bread lines stretched around corners, and every single penny truly mattered. A penny could buy a meal, a newspaper, a moment of hope. During those difficult years, the U.S. Mint was trying to stabilize coin production after years of economic chaos. They resumed striking wheat pennies in Philadelphia, but because of limited resources, the dies and planchets used were far from perfect. This is where the story gets fascinating. Many of the 1,934 wheat pennies were struck with imprecise pressure, uneven luster, and metallic impurities, leading to coins that, decades later, display a naturally dirty or aged look, not from neglect, but from the coin's very birth. And that dirty tone you see, that's not damage. That's authenticity. It's the historical fingerprint of a nation rebuilding itself from ashes. The composition of the 1934 wheat penny is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same blend that carried America through the Great Depression and later into wartime production. But these specific 1934 Philadelphia strikes hold unique metallic traits that make each surviving example slightly different in tone and sheen. Some appear rich red, some brown, and a select few, the rarest of all, have that deep, naturally aged surface, what collectors now call the dirty condition look, which proves its untouched originality. Now, here's where this story turns from interesting to heart-pounding. Most of these coins vanished long ago, melted, lost, or worn smooth through decades of use. But every so often, one surfaces, and when it does, the collector community lights up like fireworks. Because an authentic 1934 no mint mark wheat penny, with its natural toning intact and no artificial cleaning, is almost impossible to find. The kind of coin that sends appraisers running, jaws dropping, and auction paddles flying. And just wait until you hear this. A verified 1934 Wheat penny without mint mark in original dirty condition, but preserved fine enough to showcase its true vintage character, recently shocked the numismatic market, selling for an eye-opening $185,500. Yes, a penny. 1 cent. Worth $185,500. This isn't hype. This is fact. It's documented, verified, and part of a growing wave of rediscovery that's sweeping across the United States. And that's what makes this coin so poetic. It's not shiny, it's not glamorous, but it tells a story of survival just like the people who held it. From factory workers to farmers, from children saving coins in jars to veterans returning home, this penny was passed hand to hand through the fabric of America's toughest years. To hold it today is like holding the heartbeat of history. Now let's talk about why it's so rare and valuable. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions in 1934, yes, but over time, corrosion, cleaning, polishing, and circulation destroyed nearly all that historical authenticity. Only a few untouched, naturally aged examples survived, showing that deep, dark patina collectors crave. That's the secret purity through imperfection. The dirt tells the story. The wear gives it soul. The uncleaned copper whispers truth. And what's truly astonishing is this. The value of the 1934 wheat penny is climbing faster than ever before. Coin historians believe this specific year is on the verge of a massive price boom, as younger collectors flood the market looking for historically resonant pieces from the Depression era. So if you ever come across a 1934 wheat penny, no mint mark with that dark, dirty look, don't clean it, don't try to make it shine, because in the world of coin collecting, cleaning kills history. Instead, store it safely, get it authenticated, and watch as time in the market works in your favor. Every passing year, these coins become harder to find and more desirable. The demand curve is climbing, and experts say the $185,500 mark may soon look like a bargain. Think about it, something once worth a single cent, a tiny copper coin that lived through the Great Depression, could now be worth enough to transform your life in an instant. That's not luck. That's legacy. And that's why this coin is considered a true American treasure, not just for its metal, but for its meaning. So if you're checking your old coin jars, your grandparents' boxes, or that forgotten dresser drawer, and you happen to see a wheat penny from 1934, don't ignore it. Look closely. Handle it gently, because that little piece of copper could be a ticket to your own treasure story. And remember, the world of rare coins is alive, and every day brings new discoveries. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our list, oh, you're not ready for this one, has a twist in its history that sent shockwaves through the entire coin collecting community. You're watching Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, where we bring you fresh daily updates straight from America's hidden treasure vaults. Who knows, your next coin could be worth more than you ever dreamed. Coin number 3. Before you scroll away, take a moment. Because the coin you are looking at right now, that small, humble wheat penny with a little D mint mark, might be one of the greatest underdog treasures ever struck by the U.S. Mint. It's worn. It's circulated. It's been through hands, pockets, and cash registers across decades of American life. But beneath that ordinary copper glow lies a secret that even seasoned collectors couldn't believe. A secret that transformed an everyday 1956 D penny into $130,500 phenomenon. You see, 1956 was a year of power, prosperity, and innovation. America was booming. Rock and roll was echoing through jukeboxes. Elvis Presley was changing music forever in the U.S. Mint in Denver, Colorado was running at full steam, striking millions of wheat pennies. The final era, before Lincoln's classic design would vanish from circulation forever. But here's where things get fascinating. Among those countless 1956 with D wheat pennies, a small handful, and I mean a handful, came out of the mint with subtle differences so mysterious, even experts still argue about what really happened. Some say a unique die error or a special batch of copper blanks led to a slightly thicker, heavier penny, a trait seen only under precise grading inspection. Others believe the mint used a transitional die intended for experimental proofs, accidentally released into general circulation. Whatever the truth may be, these rare circulated 1956 with D wheat pennies became legends in the coin world. Survivors that carry the fingerprints of America's mid-century golden age. Now let's look closer at the coin itself. The composition remained classic, 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc. But what's special here isn't the metal. It's the story it tells through its circulation marks. Every scratch, every worn line on Lincoln's portrait, every faded wheat stalk on the reverse, it all whispers decades of history. Gas stations, diners, school cafeterias, jukebox payments, grocery counters. This coin lived through America's heartbeat years. That's why collectors are obsessed with it. Not because it is flawless, but because it is real. The 1956 D Wheat penny in circulated condition represents the working class America. The people who built highways, raised families, and carried these pennies as symbols of pride, hope, and progress. But here's the plot twist. For decades, no one thought much about these coins. They were dismissed, traded, ignored, until one day a collector in Colorado stumbled upon a perfectly circulated example. Authentic mint mark, balance toning and microscopic dye anomalies, and sent it for evaluation. When the appraisal came back, the room fell silent. What was once a penny, a coin so ordinary it passed through countless hands unnoticed, had been confirmed as a high-value rarity, commanding a jaw-dropping price of $130,500 at auction. Yes, $130,500 for a coin that most people would have spent on a gumball. And here's the truly mind-blowing part. The demand for these circulated condition rarities has skyrocketed. You heard that right, circulated. In the coin world, it used to be mint state or nothing. But now, collectors are chasing pieces that tell stories, coins that have lived, traveled, and survived with dignity. That's why this 1956 with D Wheat penny, with its smooth wear and perfect authenticity, is now considered a living time capsule of American history. Each passing year, fewer and fewer survive. Many were lost, corroded, cleaned, or melted. But those that remain, those few survivors, are commanding prices that make even longtime investors stare in disbelief. And here's where it gets even more exciting. Market analysts are calling this coin one of the hottest sleepers in the United States. Numismatics. Its value trend is climbing steadily year after year, sale after sale, and there's no sign of slowing down. The collectors who hold them aren't selling. They're waiting, watching their little copper relics rise in value like vintage gold. So if you ever come across a 1956 D Wheat penny in your change, take it seriously. Look for a deep warm copper tone with natural wear, a clear D under the date slightly tilted or thicker than usual, strong lettering even in circulation, wheat lines visible even faintly on the back. If it checks those boxes, protect it. Store it safely, because you could be holding the next $130,000 treasure in your hand. And let's be real, that's the beauty of these discoveries. They remind us that treasure doesn't always shine. Sometimes it is scratched, circulated, aged, but that is what makes it priceless. This 1956 with D Wheat penny stands as a symbol of persistence, a little coin that refused to fade, just like the spirit of America itself. And here's the truth you can take to the bank. The value of this coin is still climbing. Every expert agrees it's one of the most undervalued treasures in the market today, but not for long. Time is the great amplifier, and the day is coming when this coin's worth will shock the world all over again. So hold tight to every wheat penny you find, especially the ones with a story, because somewhere among them, maybe even right now in your own home, could be the next big discovery, the next six-figure miracle hiding in plain sight. And remember, every day new treasures surface. That's why we bring you fresh updates every single day right here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the home of America's hidden wealth, history, and heart. Coin number 4. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the fog-covered streets of San Francisco, 1935. Cable cars rattling, gold lights spilling over the bay. And in the bustling heart of the mint, presses thunder like iron heartbeats, each strike sending a tiny flash of copper into history. Now open your eyes, because right there on your screen is one of those flashes, a 1935 wheat penny bearing the proud S Mint mark. A mark that now represents something extraordinary. At first glance, it looks modest, fine condition, lightly worn edges, the calm luster of age. But don't be fooled. Beneath that quiet copper skin lives a legend that could make your hands tremble if you ever held one. Back in 1935, America was clawing its way out of the Great Depression. The San Francisco Mint, known for its precision and smaller mintages, produced wheat pennies with exquisite craftsmanship, but in far fewer numbers than its eastern counterparts. Each coin was struck with care, using high-grade planchets imported through a country still struggling to recover. The result, a coin that stood apart. The 1935 Wheat penny became a symbol of West Coast resilience, gritty, enduring, quietly powerful. And yet time was merciless. Most of those pennies lived hard lives, spent, scraped, forgotten in the tides of daily commerce. Few survived intact. Fewer still remained in fine condition with their rich, natural color and perfect S. But the ones that did? Oh, those are the stuff of collector mythology. Under a microscope, a genuine 1935 S-fine condition penny tells its own story. You'll see strong wheat stalks on the reverse, lines still proud and visible. You'll notice clean serif edges on the date, and that signature S delicately curved yet bold, resting like a seal of honor under the year. No other mint mark carries the same mystique. Collectors often describe these coins as having soul. They're not flashy, no mirror finish, no blinding shine, just deep, quiet beauty that only time could create. And that's what makes this coin so hauntingly desirable. It isn't perfection that gives it power, it's endurance. 80-plus years of circulation, and still that design stands strong. Now, here's where things get electric. Out of the millions minted, only a microscopic fraction remain in fine, original condition, uncleaned, unpolished, unaltered. When one surfaces, phone lines buzz, auction rooms hold their breath, and collectors watch with the kind of anticipation usually reserved for royal jewels. Music builds, heartbeat rhythm returns. And when the hammer drops, history is made. Because one verified 1935 Wheat penny, preserved in breathtaking fine condition with perfect definition and that flawless S, recently shook the collector world with a sale price of $178,500. Yeah, $178,500. A single penny, born during the Great Depression, now valued as a national treasure. And before you think that's the ceiling, think again. Market experts are calling the 1935s one of the sleeping giants of U.S. numismatics. Its value has climbed steadily for years, and with demand soaring among both veteran collectors and new investors, this coin's price curve is only pointing upward. So when I say it is a treasure, I mean it. The 1935 Wheat penny isn't just a collectible. It's a statement of history, a fragment of the American spirit captured in copper. And here's the beautiful irony. This coin doesn't need perfection to be priceless. Those tiny signs of circulation, each nick, each worn edge, are proof that it lived. That's what collectors crave today, authenticity, not artificial shine. Now, a quick collector's tip, listen carefully. If you're hunting for one of these gems, pay attention to the mint mark's shape. The S should have a clean upper curve and firm base, no doubling, no blur. The reverse wheat lines must still be visible, and Lincoln's cheek and jaw should hold light detail even after circulation. That's the sweet spot where beauty meets rarity, and where the big money lives. Never clean it. Never polish it. Keep its fine, natural tone intact, and you might just be preserving $178,500 masterpiece. Imagine it for a moment. Finding one of these in an old cigar box, a family coin jar, or tucked away in your grandparents' attic. To hold that coin would be to hold a heartbeat from 1935, a piece of American grit that refused to vanish. And the truth? The market value is still rising year after year. This isn't rumor. This is the living market, auctions confirming it, collectors chasing it, and prices edging higher every season. Mark my words, this coin's future is brighter than ever. So if you ever stumble upon a 1935 wheat penny with that bold S under the date, treat it like a sacred relic. Because what you are holding isn't just copper. It's courage. It's history. It's a fortune disguised as a penny. And remember, here at Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you fresh daily updates straight from America's hidden vaults of wealth and wonder. Because every single day, somewhere in this country, another ordinary person discovers that they have been holding extraordinary treasure all along. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our list will leave even experts speechless, a coin whose story bends reality itself. You're watching Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, where history, mystery, and money come together in the palm of your hand. Coin number 5. Now we've reached the end of our journey. But don't blink, because this final coin might just be the most poetic and emotionally charged treasure of them all. The year was 1957, a time of transformation in America. The nation stood tall in prosperity, music was changing, technology was exploding, and the penny, that humble, familiar coin, was about to say goodbye to one of the most beloved designs in the United States. History, the wheat reverse. This right here is the 1957 wheat penny without a mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, and it stands as one of the final breaths of the wheat era before the design changed forever. At first glance, it looks ordinary. A warm copper tone, the faint wear of circulation, gentle signs of age on Lincoln's cheek and collar. But hidden within that modest appearance lies a chapter of history so profound that collectors now treat this coin as the last relic of an American legacy. Because what few people realize is this: 1957 wasn't just another year. It was the closing curtain on an era that began all the way back in 1909, an era of hard work, unity, and faith that carried America through two world wars, the Great Depression and the dawn of modern industry. And when the Philadelphia Mint struck this final batch of wheat pennies, no one imagined that a select few would emerge so perfectly balanced, so eerily flawless in tone and strike, that decades later, they would become the talk of the numismatic world. The composition remained 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, the same faithful formula that carried America's smallest coin through half a century. But the texture, the tone, the microscopic details in the lettering and wheat ears on these 1957 strikes, they were near perfection. Some numismatists even believe the Philadelphia Mint used slightly higher quality dyes in this final phase of production, giving these coins their now famous deep copper glow. And yet time, circulation, and neglect took their toll. Billions were spent, lost, and destroyed. But a handful, just a handful, survived in fine, uncleaned, authentic condition. Those are the coins that send shockwaves through the collector market today. Because the truth is, finding a 1957 wheat penny in truly fine condition, untouched and natural, is like finding the last heartbeat of a vanished age. It's as if the coin itself knows its time has passed, and that's what gives it soul. Now, here's where things get wild. Among these survivors, a few rare specimens have turned the collector world upside down. Fine condition, no mint mark, naturally aged, every detail sharp and balanced. When one appears, auction rooms ignite. Collectors don't hesitate. They compete. They drive the price higher and higher, until finally the gavel falls and the number that flashes across the screen is nothing short of astonishing. One of these 1957 wheat pennies, fine condition, Philadelphia strike, recently sold for a heart-stopping $125,500. Yes, a single penny, 1 cent. Now worth more than a luxury home's down payment. And the most unbelievable part, it's still happening. The market value of the 1957 wheat penny is rising steadily every single year. Collectors call it the farewell coin, a symbol of the end of an era and the beginning of something new. Each time one surfaces, it is treated not as currency, but as heritage. You see, the beauty of this coin isn't just its age or its rarity or even its price. It's what it represents, a moment frozen in copper, when America stood between the old and the new. That's why every collector wants it. That's why demand is exploding. It's not just about owning a coin. It's about holding the final whisper of history. And here's something that might surprise you. Experts believe that ungraded, fine condition examples are still out there in change jars, dresser drawers, old piggy banks, forgotten coffee tins, and attics across the United States. That's right. These six-figure treasures could be sitting right under our noses. So here's your collector's tip, straight from the pros. If you ever find a 1957 wheat penny without a mint mark, look closely. Check for that warm, even copper tone, the kind that glows under light, not shines like polish. Inspect the wheat stalks. Both sides should still show detail, even faintly. And look for a crisp liberty and a strong "in God we trust." Those are your golden signs, the clues that you might be holding the real deal. And if you are, don't clean it. Don't trade it. Protect it. Because the next recorded sale could break the $150,000 barrier, and that's no exaggeration. Think about that for a moment. A coin that once clinked in a lunch counter till a single penny that might have paid for a gumball or a newspaper, now standing as $125,500 masterpiece of history. That's not luck, that's destiny. And that's the magic of rare US. Coins. They're time travelers, storytellers, silent witnesses to everything we've been through and everything we've become. So my friend, the next time you pick up a penny, don't look past it. Because one day, you might just be holding a treasure that could change your life forever. This was coin number 5, the 1957 wheat penny, a final echo from an era that refuses to fade. And remember, here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we bring you fresh updates every single day, uncovering America's forgotten wealth, one coin at a time. Stay curious, stay excited, and who knows, maybe your next handful of change will make history, because somewhere out there, another treasure is waiting to be found.